things could have changed so drastically within those 10 years?
The truth is this, 5 years, I did say earlier on, census is financially consuming. Nigeria might not be able to do it in 5 years. We have other indices that can monitor the population of a country. 10 years is good enough for us as at now. Maybe later in future, when we are able to get out of our recession and we get into a lot of, you know what I mean, when we become very buoyant, we can decide on 5 years. For now, what we are agitating, what we are saying is, let the census 10-year periodicity become a law. Just like election is a 4-year thing. When it becomes a law that every 10 years the government must carry out census, then you know that after every 10 years we will be able to know how many children were born. We already do, because we do free birth registration, for example. So we know, we can tell you per state, per local government, or even nationally, how many children have been registered in Nigeria in the last 1 month, or in the last 9 years, or in the last 14 years. These are some of the indices you use in managing population, and they also help towards census as well. So we do all this. We do birth registration as well. We also deal with immigration matters, migration and immigration. We have data on all these things. These are also indices of census. But you still have to take the real census, and that's why it must be a law that every 10 years there must be census. This is the only way we can plan properly well. We can have good policies, good planning, and they can be properly implemented. And there will be also, people will be able to check if the people put in those positions are actually acting according to the demographic data they have on ground. This is it.
Okay. Well, talking about data, that which was collected in all these years, is it accessible? Because there are those who will be concerned about the fact that when you now say, okay, you finished the 2018, can we access it? And even though it was controversial, can we get data to do comparative analysis of what was in 1952, what was in 1991, what was in 1973, and what we have in 2006 and now 2018? Can we get that data easily? Please mark the word easily, without having to go through the bottlenecks that are usually in Nigeria's civil service.
I'll tell you, we, National Population Commission, we have this data. What we do after collating data is we also analyze. And that's why we come up with some analysis, and that's why we're able to carry out some specialized surveys based on analysis of a census, we can tell you. For example, I'll tell you something that will interest a lot of women. People tell us all the time that men are more, so that's why they should marry more wives. But our last census shows that it's 106 to 100 women. So men are actually more in Nigeria than women. So women should have no fear of not getting husbands. That's on a lighter note. Now, back to your question. These data, they are available. But you know, as you have said, there are processes of getting them. But I can assure you, if you write to us, if they do not offend certain rules of oath, of secrecy or anything, we'll be willing to give them to you. A lot of people work with our data. They are available.
Sorry, I have to come in here, but what's the oath of secrecy involved in getting population data? Can't it be on your website so that I can easily access it and do my analysis? For students across the country, tertiary institutions will need this data to work with. And they still have to write when they can just go to a website to get. I mean, this data is available in other countries on their website.
We do have it on our website as well, but I'm saying if there are certain things you want in them that probably were not, I do not know for now what exactly you would want, but if you want a general data, we have it on the website. We do.
Yeah.
Go to the National Population
Now, let me ask
website.
the question.
We do have.
What is the population of Nigeria as we speak?
Oh my God, that's very dusty, my sister. I tell you the truth. As of 2006, according to National Population Commission, our population was 140. But like I said to you, we take growth rates, we take birth rate and birth registration minus death. We look at migration, people coming in and people going out. All these indices, we use them. And for now, the United Nations, UNFPA says we're about 180. That's not what we say as National Population Commission. Until we have a census, we cannot give you a specific figure. Channels, we are also asking you, we know the world listens to you. Be part of our advocacy. Nigeria needs a census. When we have a census, I can tell you how many people we have in Nigeria. I'll give you the details, the women, the children, the youth, the men. I'll give you all the details. Until then, I can only have an estimate.
Okay, now the proposed 2018 census is supposed to take about 222 billion naira. Some people have said, you know, why this much money?
I tell you the truth, 222 billion naira is a lot of money, but I also tell you, is not too much for a nation that wants to grow. Don't forget that census is an initiative of vital importance in order to understand reality. We must be able to understand the realities on the ground. Its strategic objective satisfies the needs for demographic, economic, and social information required for drawing up development plans and programs. This is the essence of humanity. Nothing is too much to give for humanity to enjoy good welfare, good education, good health, and all that. I must also say this, the 220-something billion does not have to be provided by the Nigerian government alone. Usually, like I said earlier on, the multilateral bodies also assist Nigeria in some of these finances. That is the truth.
So at the end of, or by 2018, when the president eventually makes that proclamation, we should be able to get a figure that is worth it. We should also be able to create jobs, because you have to employ some Nigerians to run around and do the enumeration. That's what you're saying, right?
Very, very true.
And
true.
God willing, we should hold.
Truth. Yeah.
And God willing, we should
going to bring a lot of smiles to Nigerians.
In the midst of it, and God willing, we should also hold conveniently and happily hold the Nigerian Population Commission responsible for the figures that will come out after the census in 2018. Okay? You're also saying here. You're also saying here that
equal. If we get everything we're asking for, we're willing to give Nigerians the best.
And you're also saying here that if you get everything you're asking for, there will be no controversy about the figures that will be released after the census.
There will be no very serious controversy. I did say to you earlier, I'm a lawyer. I do know that anybody can pick controversy over anything. As we're discussing now, anybody can tell me what you said is not right or what I've said is not right. They can pick on your clothes, they can pick on my clothes. Controversy is with human nature, But what I'm saying is, we'll make sure it's to the barest minimum. Okay. It will be as comfortable enough for any state to rely on. That I can assure you.
All right, thank you so much, Abimbola Salaudeen.
For the national government to rely on and for the international communities to rely on.
Okay, all right. Mrs. Abimbola Salaudeen, NPC representative, thank you for speaking with us on Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back in a moment for the home stretch, I believe. Don't go away.